Hey Layla, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, how's everything been? Busy?
Yeah, not too bad. Beginning of the year is always kind of slow for me.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. Trying to get everything together.
Yeah. So I've been on the call almost like every morning, but I'm not having good luck with my Forex trading at all.
Oh, what's the issue been? Has it been like hard identifying trades or I
Yeah,
mean, is it just
I'm not really I just go I don't do my own trades at all. Like I just like follow the signals that you send
Mhm.
and I just been losing a lot. Like I've just put in 2 grand and the first trade I lost like 600.
I think you're like definitely over leveraging because if you have 2 grand, I mean, you should only be risking 3%. So like
Yeah,
two.
that one I realized I was over leveraging for sure because it was like my lot size was like 1.0 and
Yeah, yeah, because I think you're risking like 60%, like or like close to like well over 30%, and you should only be risking 3% per trade, so that because it always balances out. You know, it's like trading is a long-term game. It's not something where you make money like really quick. I mean, technically you can, but you know, obviously there's more risk that comes with it. Because like for example, here I just did like the math for like 3% of 2,000, and you should only be losing or making like $60 per trade. So
okay.
you know, if you're losing risking 600, it's kind of too much, and it's
Yeah.
easy to like blow your account if you trade that way.
Yeah, and last time I spoke with you, I think I was just about to do the FTMO challenge, and I did it, and I didn't pass because one trade, I didn't know that um, while you're active, like you can't go over 5 grand. So I had all this like trade positions going, and then it went up to like negative 5,150 or something, and then that like disqualified me.
Oh no, yeah, that because that's they're even more strict with risk management there. Like you for sure can't go over like 5% would be the next loss. That would be 5,000. So like if you're trading on FTMO, you have to trade even like way less, like less than 1% per trade, or else you'll just risk like way too much, and you can like you mentioned, you can literally lose like with one trade if you end up going too heavy.
Yeah, well, all those trades ended up closing in positive, like 3 grand in positive, so I was so confused why I didn't pass. And then I contacted customer service and they said just because it was active, I was in the negative, and it was like active trading, and I was like, what, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, so now I'm scared to like do the challenge again because I like basically lost 600 there. And so I've just been doing the Forex. But now to think of it, I think I just want to, since US 30 has been hitting TP1 so much, I think I just want to do like US 30.
Yeah, because that's all I do. I mean, I do trade Forex too, but the main bulk of my profits come from US 30 because it's worth so much more and it's so much faster.
Right.
And especially with the new scalping strategy that I've been applying, it's just been like hitting back to back. I don't know if did you sit in on the session this morning?
No, I'd missed this morning ones.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, because this morning we scalped together. Like I think I called about 3 trades today, and they all hit back to back like 500 pips each. So that kind of covered, our daily entry. And then on for the daily entry, it hit TP1 as well. So I think it was a total of like maybe like 2,200 pips today
Wow.
for just US 30. And that's something that I'm probably going to be doing more often. The only problem with me scalping is that you have to be like really quick, right? Because like whenever I call these trades, you have to take them like within a split second, or you can miss it because we get in and out of the trades so quickly. I just took one right now actually too, right here, and then I made some profit off this as well.
Also,
It's
scalping is basically like getting in the trade and then just watching it and then getting out when you're in profit.
You could generally what I do is I set and I forget it. So basically, like this was the entry that I took earlier. which was actually not that one, this one right here. So I took this entry right here. It's a new strategy. I haven't explained it yet very much. I mean, I've given like the basics of how to apply it. And basically, we're just looking for two things. We're looking for a rejection off the pivots, and then we're looking for a rejection within like a zone. So like right here, price is rejecting off the pivots and it's rejecting off the zone. So what I generally would do is I'd wait for this candle to close. As soon as it closes, I enter like a market sell, so I can enter right away.
Mhm.
And I generally just have a set parameter. I just have it to 500 pips each way. So like once I set it like that, I just let it go. Like I let it run. And then, obviously I let it run here and then it hit full TP. And then for this, if you're trading like a standard lot, it's about 500 bucks per trade. So, obviously if you like stack these up, 3 or 4 trades within the, an hour or so, you can make a lot of money pretty quick.
Yeah. So how much do you think I should start if I'm doing US 30?
Well, you'll need at least 1,000 in your account. Well, which broker are you using? So that'd be a better question.
So I'm doing Hugo's Way, but I really don't. I want to know what you use for US 30.
I use the same thing. So, well, I don't really trade on my personal as much anymore. I mostly trade on FTMO because it just makes more sense for me to trade on there because I don't have much risk and I can just, keep taking these trades without having to worry about losing money or anything like that because the win rate's so high. So generally, I'll just take a trade and I'll let it go. And I'll like stack even more trades on top of it. That's kind of what happened this morning. Like this morning, we stacked 3 entries. Like right here, there's actually a bunch of entries that stacked on top of it. We had like an entry here, we had another entry here, and then 2 more right here as well. So I technically could have stacked like 4 trades here for a gain of like 2,000 pips.
Okay. So US 30, you do the 100K?
Yeah. So that's why I have the 100K account for my funded for FTMO.
Okay, yeah, because I do Hugo's Way and like the MT4, but I don't really like it so much. So I want to do more of the like the legit ones.
Yeah. So the problem with the legit ones is I don't even use a legit one myself. Like I still use for FTMO, we have to use MT4 as well.
Mhm.
The problem with using the legit ones is that they require like a huge deposit. Well, not really huge, but a pretty big deposit, and they require you to have margin sometimes. So the risk with margin is if you go into the negative and you lose money, you're going to owe the broker money. So it's kind of like them giving you a loan to trade. So that's why I don't want to mess with that because you never know when the market's just going to go crazy and you might owe a lot of money. So I personally am not like really gearing towards that. I'm sticking with MT4 for FTMO. Maybe at some time in the future I might go to something more legit, but there's just not that many good options right now. Because I was looking for the brokers here on um, on TradingView, and I spoke to the support, and they don't really have a good broker that's available right now. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on it. But I mean, eventually I might.
Yeah, because I have Forex.com and I like funded it, but I have no idea how to use it. So I ended up just withdrawing the money because they don't even have US 30. Like I can't even do US 30 on Forex.
Yeah, so for Forex.com, they only have Forex pairs for US clients. The reason for that is because indices aren't really allowed in the US. You have to trade the actual future. So if you want to trade the future, you have to sign up with like a futures broker, and they require like about like I think it's about like 25K deposit. So I really don't want to mess with that because if you miss your trade or if you make a mistake, like you can literally lose a lot of money if you forget to like put a stop loss or something like that.
So I see that you like do trade on this trading view, but like how do you do that on trading view?
Well, I connect Forex.com to it. So if you click down here, and then you like, let's see, how do I log out of this? Uh, oh, here we go, broker list. Yeah, so like when you want to log into your Forex.com, you just click on trading panel down here, and then you click on Forex.com and you log in from there.
But I thought you can't do US 30 on Forex.com.
Yeah, I don't trade. I trade US 30 on MT4.
Oh, okay. So you don't really trade on trading view. Okay.
I only trade Forex on TradingView because I use Forex.com for my Forex, but for US 30, I have to use MT4 because FTMO only works on MT4 right now. I'm pretty sure they're trying to. I've spoken to their CEO. I think he's trying to like transition them to like TradingView or like having compatible brokers. But I think right now they're still on MT4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so if my account, let me see how much I have. So right now there's one active one that's GBP USD, which
Mm-hmm.
is both on the negative actually. Like I'm negative 155, but that one's still active, right?
Yeah, I think GU is still active right now. It's in some drawdown after the news today. I mean, these past 2 weeks have been like not very good because of when Biden went into the House, he started implementing all these policies,
Yeah.
and by doing so, it just screwed up like all the USD pairs because they were all going this direction. Even like this morning, I don't know if you noticed or you didn't sit in on the session, but today this morning we had a buy for odd USD as well, and it was supposed to be bullish, but um, there was something that was going on with like the AUD, the USD, and Canadian. So when that happened, it ended up pushing everything in the opposite direction. So we currently have odd USD open, we have NZD CAD open. This is in profit. We have NZD USD open as well, and that's also in profit. Where it's not in profit right now, but it was. But I got out of this trade already, so I'm out of NZD USD. I'm still in GU. I'm out of NZD CAD, and then we have another position here for Euro odd as well. But like the market's just not that. It's not a good time to trade right now. So like right now, I'm being like very careful with the forex trades, and I'm just focused on the US 30 right now for scalping because the market's just all over the place. Like if you were on the live session this morning, like you would have noticed that like everything kind of just went opposite. But
Yeah.
I think it's temporary. I think it's just going to move opposite for a short period, and I think it's going to swing back eventually.
Yeah, because the AU hit stop loss, right?
Yeah, AU hit stop loss. It just ended up reversing like this morning. For what I don't know what happened this morning, but this morning it just ended up going like complete opposite as soon as we got into the trade.
So with all the news and presidential stuff, you don't think it's you think US 30 is still safe?
Yeah, well, I think it's safe because we're not really holding it for that long. We're just catching the smaller moves. So like I'm in and out of the trade within like less than an hour. So it
Okay.
doesn't really give enough time for the trade to really reverse on me because I'm like in the trade for a few minutes and then it hits TP and then I'm out. And then I wait for another opportunity. I do the same thing versus, Forex trades where we're holding them for like a couple hours, couple days, maybe even longer in some cases, where a lot of things can happen. Like something can be going in our direction. And then if like Biden announces something or if there's some sort of agreement or some policy that's implemented, then it could easily reverse the trade that we have at any time.
Right.
So I think right now it's kind of it's definitely a little more dangerous to hold trades longer because we're just not really sure what's going to happen. Because Biden just got into the House and he has like a ton of policies that he's implementing. He has like a whole list of things that he's doing.
Yeah.
So like literally anything that gets announced can easily swing any of the USD pairs like up or down. And then if it's related to the USD, which like is like one of the other bigger currencies like the AUD or Canadian dollar, that would affect it as well. I mean, there's a lot of different factors right now, especially with COVID.
Mhm.
I guess the numbers are like just increasing a lot, so that's also affecting the market. So I would probably recommend that you trade on the shorter time frames right now, so you can get in and out of trades more quickly rather than holding on to them for so long, because you just never really know when price is going to reverse on you.
Okay. So I think I'm just gonna do the US 30. So if I
Mhm.
have a $2,000 account, what should my lot size be for US 30?
So for every 1,000, you should do is a 0.01. So
Zero.
you should probably just stick with the 0.01 until you get to 3,000. So if you're doing a 0.01, um, then for each trade, like if you're taking the daily US 30 trade, then you would make about 150 per trade. So, obviously if you have like a good week where it's just all wins,
Yeah.
you'll be able to stack it up pretty high. Because like 150 times five, uh, yeah, like for a good week, if you just have nonstop wins, like I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had like seven back-to-back wins. So like, for example, if you had seven back-to-back wins for $150, you'd be able to increase your account by like 1,000. And then at that point, you can increase your lot size from a 0.01 to 0.02, and then that'll just compound your account. So that the next following week, if you had to have another good week, instead of making 1,000, you multiply it by 2 and you make about 2,000. So you'd basically double up your $2,000 account.
Okay. But the only thing is that when you win, it's good, but when you lose, it's like you lose a lot.
Exactly, yeah. But like with our win rate for US 30, it's not that bad. So like, and if you start to implement the scalp trades have even higher win rate. So if you're scalping, you're going to be able to minimize your risk, and you're also going to be able to add on wins as well. Because for our scalp trades, you'll be making about $50 per trade because it's 500 pips. So if you're doing 500 pips, you're gonna make about $50 per trade. So if we do like 3 scalps, say before or around the daily entry, like you could probably make like $50 times 3. You can make like another $150. And then if you have a win, from the daily entry, you'd have another $150. Or if you have a loss, you'll just go back to break even.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you mainly do US 30 like early in the morning and like when New York market opens, right?
Yeah. So after 6:30 our time, that's when the New York Stock Exchange opens. So I'm usually on the live before then, like between 6 and 6:30, and then from that point, we usually catch the daily entry. It's usually like within the first hour or so, maybe the first 2 hours.
Okay.
If not, then we'll probably just be scalping like within it anyways, before we reach that actual entry.
Okay.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
you're trading, if you're trading on MT4, I think you should probably just stick to the US 30 because it's just a lot easier. And then the win rate's a lot higher too, so you don't have to really worry about like holding on to a trade for too long or like managing it or having to like move your stop loss because you can literally just take it and then pretty much just let it run if you really wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I just lost so much money already, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, it's like that in the beginning. Like honestly, for me, my first 3 years, I wasn't that profitable, and then like my fourth and fifth year, I became like sort of profitable, and then the last, I say 3 years, I guess, I've been like super profitable. It's just been consistent because I've been like reapplying the same thing every day. It's pretty much like the same strategy, just rinse and repeat. And then I just got used to it, where it just becomes second nature for me.
okay, I'll continue just being in the morning calls and then following your signals and just stick to US 30 for now then.
Yeah, stick to US 30 and just use a 0.01. I think you should be fine with that. I mean, even with the scalps, I think you should be good. You just got to make sure that you're pretty quick with it because I'll usually be counting down and I'll be very, very quick with the calls. Like this morning, I was pretty quick. I think I gave people like maybe 30 seconds before I was going to call it because I
Yeah.
was going back between my analysis and US 30. And then, but everyone did pretty well. Like, I don't know if you saw everyone's results from today or like everyone's profits from this morning,
Yeah.
but like everyone pretty much locked in a ton of profits, just copying my scalp trades this morning.
But how do you but I mean, I noticed that you do the countdown, but you don't put out the signal right away. So how do I know?
Yeah, well, for scalping, it moves too fast. You have like literally a split second to take the trade. So you wouldn't be able, like, it's impossible for me to call a signal because, like, for example, right here. So this trade over here, this candle closed right here, right? So as soon as this candle closed, we already have the position set up right there. So we have the position set up. And then as soon as, a minute passes or, less than 10 minutes, it ends up dropping in profit already. So if you miss this already, you're already too late. There's no way you can enter this trade because it's already deeply in profit. And then as it continues to move down, it never comes back to entry. So from that point, it goes down all the way and then hits TP and it never comes back up.
So do you just like without putting in the TP or stop loss, do you just buy or sell as soon as you start counting down?
Exactly. Yeah. So when I count down, once it gets to zero, or when the candle closes, I automatically hit sell or buy, depending if I'm trying to enter a sell, I'll enter a sell market order, or if I'm entering a buy, I'll enter a buy market order. And then from that point, I'll just wait and then I'll take the trade. And then, pretty much from there, that's pretty much how we do it. Like this morning, we took both trades. Like over here, we took a buy trade and then we took a sell trade as well. So we did it pretty quickly. Whenever I counted down, we just counted for the drop or for the push up, and then as soon as we had that entry, we automatically entered the buy market or the sell market. And then after that, I provide the stop loss and TP. So you can copy the stop loss TP from that point and then just let it run pretty much to a full TP or a full stop loss.
Oh, okay. And green is buy and red is sell, right?
No, so for this, we don't use the vertical lines. We just have the pivot. So we just wait for a rejection off the pivots, and then we confirm the rejection off the zone. And then, like for example, right here, this would be an entry. An entry would be, let's see. So it'd be a wick rejection off pivot. So this would be requirement 1. So we just wait for a wick rejection, basically like the little wick candle right there. We wait for the wick rejection off the pivot. The body can't be within the pivot. And then the second requirement is that rejection off, or yeah, requirement number 2 is just a rejection off K² SR zone. So these are the only 2 requirements. First requirement is just a rejection off the pivot. Second requirement is rejection off the K² SR zone. So if these are both met, then that would be our entry. As soon as this candle closes, we enter a short position right here, exactly where it closes. And then our stop loss TP is about 500 pips away. And that's pretty much it. Once we enter that trade, we just set our TP stop loss and then we just let it run.
But how do you know if it's a buy or sell?
Oh, because if it's a rejection off the top, then it's coming back down. Because if it's rejecting off here, it's deflecting off it to go down. And then vice versa, if it's rejecting off this point, it's deflecting to go up.
Oh.
So if you have an upper rejection, it's going to be a sell, obviously, because it's like trying to push up, but then it's rejecting its way down. So if it does that, it's obvious that it's going to head down. Vice versa, if you're looking for like a buy, you're going to have the rejection off the lower area like this. You see the difference? Like if price is above the pivots, then it'll be a buy. If price is below, it'll be a sell. Because these pivots act as pivot points or like rejection. So it's like a shield. Like it's basically bouncing off the shield.
Okay.
So like right here, price comes down, it rejects off the pivots and then it swings back up. And then again, right here, price goes below, comes back up, rejects off the pivots, and then it heads back down. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, because like obviously when price is below the pivots, it's going down, right? And if price is above the pivots, it's going up. So if the rejection is below it, then it would be a buy. If price is below it, then it'd be a sell.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a little confusing if you're like, if you're hearing it from me, but I think when it's in action, it makes more sense. Because like generally we'll be following it as it's moving and we'll already know which direction we're selling. Like if we're selling or if we're buying. Because if price is below it, it'd be a sell. If price is above it, it'd be a buy. So I think there's gonna be less confusion when you're actually applying it.
Okay, I was actually just watching this morning's trading view video, so I think I'm just gonna continue watching it. I think it'll make sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. I can clear it up for you. Because I know it might be a little confusing at first because it's not really explained in detail yet. Because it's still brand new. Like I'm still trying to figure out if there's any changes that need to be made to it. But I think overall it's pretty good for the most part.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna stick to US 30 because I'm not having any luck with the Forex.
Yeah, just stick with the US 30. You're gonna have a lot better luck, I believe.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, perfect. Do you have any other questions?
Nope, that's it. I will be here in the morning.
Perfect. Sounds good. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.